Welcome back to Three Dads in a Podcast. It's me, Freddie D.
It's your boy Tinfoil Los.
Hey, what's up? It's the Illuminati leader, BD Berto, coming at you. You know what I'm saying?
Special guest from far away, straight from the heartbeat, a.k.a. Hartford, Connecticut, Daddy Ant. What's up, man? Welcome.
What's up, guys? What's up? Thanks for having me.
He's our 1B guest because our 1A guest from last time was a bit fun. But welcome to the podcast, man. Three Dads in a Podcast. You know what's it about. We talk all that shit. We do all that shit. And we eat all that shit. Legit.
Yeah, tonight was lasagna, baby.
Tonight we ate lasagna made by me.
It was okay.
Wow. That's fucked up.
I didn't eat it, but I'm assuming it was okay.
Go light on the sauce, you know.
And you didn't say anything about it, so I'm assuming it was okay.
I told Freddie it was good. It was good.
Well, this kid had 2 plates, and I was like, that's it. I knew. When he eats twice, that's when I know.
Allegedly.
He always eats twice.
Yeah, he always eats twice. Damn. He's a double
Doesn't
dipper.
gain a fucking pound. It's
He's a
bullshit.
double dipper. He's like, I want to make sure I come inside you twice. That's how he
Really,
rolls.
really making it, baby daddy.
So, believe it or not, we have made it to our goal, 10 episodes. We are 10 episodes in.
We're
That's
at
the
10.
1-0. That's the X for all you Roman Catholics.
Roman Catholics. I'm just happy that we got to clear our schedule 10 times to make 10 episodes.
Yeah, because we're not bums. We actually work for a living.
It got dicey out there. I mean, fucking. It got
One of
dicey.
us collects.
One of
I'm gonna let you guys figure that out.
I'm not pointing any fingers.
I collect on these fucking, these hoes out there and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, since our last episode, the LA is rocking right now with winning both championships in the Major League of Balls and Baseballs.
City of
and
Champs?
The City of Champs, absolutely.
Not even close.
Really?
City of Champs?
The Red Sox did it, and the
Well,
Celtics did it. Why can't the Lakers and
One
the
time.
Dodgers get it?
One time in like how many years?
Can we have this moment
That's what I'm
one
saying, you
time?
can't give
You
it to
can't
them?
call yourself the City of Champs when you have like one championship in how
Really?
long?
The
They-
Red Sox
they are legit
20 years?
The
and-
City of Champs right now. As COVID 2020, they're the City of Champs right now.
No, the bubble champs. That's what the fuck they are. That's the
I
fuck
can
they
agree with
are.
that.
Champ.
Bubble champ.
Yeah, you with me with the bubble champ?
Bubble champs, I
Like,
like
fuck,
that.
Yeah, but if the
Still
Celtics would have won
champion.
it,
Oh my
not
God,
be
forget
honest.
it. Oh,
Why would we
that's what
call
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
it would be the Bubble 2
So,
champs.
I'm sorry, 20 years of dynasty.
Jason Tatum is the bubble king. Like
20
Yeah, for
years,
real.
Bubble
20
is
years of
nuts.
championship is cool.
Yeah,
That's fine.
You guys got butlered.
It's fine. Yeah, we did. We did get butlered.
We didn't. But anyways, welcome back. Today's a special podcast. Like I said, it's the 10th episode. We got a special guest, Daddy Ant from far. He drove about 42 minutes from here. He definitely found my area. And we're going to dive deep in a little bit of the conspiracy theory of Earth and this life.
we're gonna go there.
We're going there.
Are you ready?
Let me give you some background on Daddy Ant. So I met Ant like many years ago, but I never slept with this guy.
Allegedly.
Until recently. And when I said it, like we slept in the same room, we happened to be in a tournament of champions for adults that happens to be a softball tournament. And I
I remember
remember
say something else like a
I remember on my way, I picked up Los from Bayamon, and he told me, yo, we're going to pick up Ant. I'm going to warn you. We're going to dive deep. You're not going to sleep tonight. I said, bullshit. He said, we're not going to sleep tonight. I'm telling you.
I'm
we're
not
gonna
kidding
sleep
you. I
tonight."
told him. I was like, yo, I'm letting you know, we're not going to bed for till late. We're gonna talk about some deep shit. And I don't think he was okay with it,
He wasn't ready.
but he really didn't know what the fuck was coming.
I was being a dude. I was like, I'm fucking ready. This guy can't tell me what time to go to bed. So we pick him up. We had a good time. We had dinner or whatever. And we come home to the hotel, and that's when it started.
Yeah, what started that he's talking about?
Oh man, was it? Ooh, thank you.
It was
Yeah, did we start with Gematria that night? I
we
think
started
that
with
might have
Jeffrey.
been it. Oh, it was Jeffrey. It was Jeffrey.
Okay.
So
Mr.
you want to
Epstein.
get a little background on Jeffrey Epstein?
Mr. Epstein. Yeah, I mean, for anyone who has been following the case, it's a very interesting situation where a high-profile individual with lots of connects as far as investments. You know, this guy was big with lots of different rich people and powerful people across the globe, and of course is arrested for trafficking young children.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, and I think the big conspiracy there is did he or did he not kill himself?
That's
in prison.
that's the big
And what
conspiracy.
happens with his accomplice.
So let's start here. I'm a little bit familiar with the story, but I know there's like, can you give me like a couple big names that are linked or kind of linked that
Bill
there's
Gates.
Allegedly.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bill Clinton.
is it alleged? I mean, we have flight logs, so we
Yeah.
can definitely name
We
people
have
who
flight
were
logs.
on his flight.
Anyone that ever went to his private jet, he logged them in. Like,
So, like-
what time and everything, how many times
Chrissy
they've been in it.
Teigen, you know, all
Yeah,
these
Chris
celebrities.
Tucker.
Chris
Yep,
Tucker.
Chris
Tucker was
Tucker.
definitely one of them.
Bill
Clinton.
Clinton.
Our buddy Bill was on there about
Now-
27 times
I
in 2
heard
years.
I heard that like at the mansion he had like a painting of Bill Clinton in a dress.
Right. But,
Yes.
But I believe
Yes.
he bought that from someone. So it's not like it was.
But still, that's a power move to
It
have
is.
Bill
Oh, of
Clinton
course.
show up.
no, but
That's what we
Right,
call
but-
collateral.
No, it's not, because that painting was already out. It wasn't like a collateral move or anything.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Who else
See,
was
the
this?
painting of Bush he has in his house?
No, there's a
So-
painting of Bush.
So a painting of Bush sitting on a carpet playing with 2 toy airplanes.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Naked.
No, he was dressed.
Oh.
Fully clothed.
So
I believe it's the same artist though.
I'm pretty sure it's the same one.
So I understand being like good friends with people or whatnot, but like to have that in your house, that kind of means like you don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like to have paintings like that. So is that like, yeah, I don't give a fuck because y'all can't touch me, pretty much.
It
So,
seems like a power move. It seems
Let's
like a
just
flex.
dive deeper on Jeffrey Epstein. So he had, according to our beautiful conversation that night at the hotel. By the way, Daddy Ant spent $20 on a small pizza. I remember it. I was there. I only had like a half a crust. It was $20.
It was 20.
It was
Yeah.
crazy. I was like, "Oh, where's the rest
It's
of the
good
pizza?"
hotel pizza, bro.
It wasn't even hotel pizza. It was some random guy that took advantage of us as usual. So this man was part. You know what? Google that shit. But I'm gonna give you the Cliff Notes real quick. So my man made his money because he somehow fucking baited the Victoria's Secret guy to like, yo, give me your company and let me make money off you. And he's like, yeah, cool, run that shit. Boom, made his money. He probably embezzled a lot of millions of dollars. And then because he had the connection with the Victoria's Secret models and he able to afford a beautiful apartment in New York City, Manhattan, where that shit was customized as far as he had hidden cameras all over the motherfucking place.
So,
And so-
the guy you're talking about from Victoria's Secret,
Yes.
Les Wexner, gave him that property in New York.
Look at that.
I believe he like signed it over for like $10 or something like that. So it's the second
Jesus.
most expensive
Oh my
townhouse in Manhattan, and he
That's what
just
I'm
signed it
saying.
over
What is
for
this,
a
like
couple bucks.
7 stories?
It's huge.
And
Yeah.
rumor has it he has like little micro cameras and shit in each
Oh.
room.
All over the place.
Well,
all over the place.
for a guy like that, I would assume all the people you meet, all the, you know, you're that rich. You need a side deal. You need information on people. So I wouldn't be surprised if his whole like situation was wired.
You guys know like the connection with like his accomplice who's in court now, Ghislaine or Ghislaine.
Ooh,
Yes, I do.
She's
Yeah.
still alive though.
So kind of chiming into what you're saying there, like who is he blackmailing? What's the purpose? Like why is he getting all these powerful people on his property and compromising them? Well, Ghislaine's pops, I believe it was Robert Maxwell, if I'm not mistaken, was assassinated or something like that. Was thrown off like a boat.
What the
Was another
fuck?
guy who's a huge like financier, investor, you know, big, similar to like what Jeffrey does. And the rumor there is that he was a Mossad agent and he did the similar things. He compromised very powerful people and got them to give him money. So he's another individual who has a lot of weird ties to like financial crimes and not necessarily the same ties as like trafficking as say like Epstein, but the people he had around him also had some really weird
That's the
things going
fucking
on.
game, man. That's just a game.
So let me ask you something. So why now? Is it because Hillary lost the election? Like why now that
Personally, why I think now?
he got arrested
This
and
is where the conspiracy theories come in.
murdered?
Because there are huge ties to both political parties right now.
Yeah, I would assume
Democrats
so.
and Republicans.
Yeah, yeah.
Both sides.
Definitely
have
not the
names
Rainbow
that are
Party because we don't do that shit.
So I wonder if it's something that, you know, obviously just we're so close to the election and how media cycles tend to gear up and rev
Oh, yeah.
up and get everyone all paranoid and freak
So
out.
why kill him but not slay his assistant who knows everything?
Oh, so you're ready
Like,
for
she's
this
already-
theory?
she's
You're ready
already
for this
thinking
theory,
or whatever.
right? So as soon as that man got handcuffs, she fled. Right? That's what they said. That
She's
she
probably already
disappeared or
gone.
whatever.
She was probably already gone.
Allegedly, she just whatever. But conspiracy theorists out there, including myself, the FBI got her and moved her ass to New Hampshire. And the only reason she got caught was she happened to go to the grocery stores and they recognized her because of the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing.
Yeah.
But the FBI got her the whole time. She didn't just flee to nobody goes to fucking New Hampshire just because they want to go to New Hampshire. If you want to disappear, you go to North Dakota.
North Dakota.
You know what I'm saying? You don't go to fucking New Hampshire.
Yeah, but why would you go to, listen, but why would you go to North Dakota when you can go to New Hampshire when there's like,
No, you go to New Hampshire because
yeah,
you're
but you're
closer to New York.
offshore. If you needed to escape, you could go on a boat or
But
to airplane. You know what I mean?
The FBI moved you to New Hampshire because you're closer to New York to testify.
So why did they put her like underneath the Denver airport?
That's true.
That's true too, man.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
All right.
Damn,
I
man.
mean,
Look at
that's-
you coming out of nowhere
that's
from
where the
left
New
field.
World Order is going to
That's
meet
what
up.
it was. It still is one of the biggest airport. No,
So-
it is the biggest airport in fucking
Biggest airport.
Now, have you noticed that ever since she's been arrested, there's been multiple, let's say, people getting arrested for trafficking and all that?
Mm-hmm.
Who?
It seems like an uptick, especially by the border. There's like uptick of arrests. I think they
Well,
got like
it's- yeah.
117.
Oh, you
people
say
trafficking.
because she leaking some information.
100%.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It makes sense that she gets
'Cause-
arrested and now all of a sudden,
Well, you think about it, it's like, what was it? Like if you sell drugs or cocaine, you're trying to expand it. So you can't just steal girls from America. That's it. Because, you know, people have interest. You know, people want that. Me so horny. You know, like that. You know what I'm saying? So obviously it's a worldwide network because these people traveled all over the world.
I believe one of his properties was in France as well. One of his properties was.
And you can't trust the
outside of
French, Ant. Telling you. You can't.
Sometimes you can, but not today. But yeah, like, but that's not it. Like, so the biggest conspiracy is like, who shut him up? Who? Because I believe I'm in the camp.
Hold on.
I'm in the
don't tell-
camp.
Don't tell me. Everybody, I want to see everybody who they think it is. Go, Freddie.
Hold on. I just want to explain. I'm in the camp that he did not commit suicide because
Who do you think got him?
who I think got him?
Yeah.
A political party.
You just throw something out there. Doesn't matter. Just a political party. Which side, though?
I think it's both sides.
Both sides.
I
Carlos,
think
who
both
you
one of
think, who
them
you think
dead.
got him?
I don't know, man, but
It was a
had to be-
collaborated hit.
It had to be somebody of higher power. And I mean, like, you know, within politics.
Yeah.
But I agree. It could have been some of the collaborators like, yo, we got to get rid of this.
I'm gonna
guy.
throw it out there. You guys being pussy. I'm gonna say the Clintons. That's it. They killed so many people already. I'm gonna say the Clintons. But I want to hear what Ant thinks his theory is.
I think those are all like pretty solid. I mean, this guy had so many connections that
You
there
think it's
aren't
definitely
any-
political? It's not some
I
actor
definitely
out
think it's
there.
something-
It was
Like,
not no
some
Chris
type of
Tucker.
power.
Chris
It
Tucker
was
does not
like-
have that reach.
No, just think of the circumstances in order for them to get to him at that prison. You're talking about like a huge federal prison. Like think of
Correct.
the lock and guard he was in, and then for the
He was in a
likelihood that
private
the two
fucking room.
cameras leading to his
He was in a
cell.
private room, and then
Regardless
the
of sleeping,
cameras were
right?
not
Two guards
working.
asleep, and
Yeah.
the two cameras
We're not
facing
working.
his cell weren't working.
Get the
Like
fuck out of here.
the power you have to make something like
Exactly.
that happen. Like that's
Which is why I don't think it was one person. I really think it was a combined effort by both
I
parties.
personally think it like
It wasn't the Rainbow Party. I repeat,
definitely
it
not.
wasn't the Rainbow Party.
So this is my conspiracy. This is my conspiracy. So the Clintons, they got or whatever, right? But idiots didn't keep track of Maxine.
No,
I think the other political party kept track of Maxine because if it had to be both which obviously there's both political parties, but if you think the higher ups, that bitch she should be dead. She shouldn't even be singing.
Well,
so
that's what
I
I'm
think
trying
she
to
was the
tell you.
FBI had her hidden, and like you said, she just got caught, and you kind of can't hide her anymore.
it's a random caught.
Because wouldn't she be dead? You would find a way.
I disagree, man.
I think not. After the Jeffrey Epstein, and then she ends up dying somehow. I think the whole world will just turn upside down like that. Some bullshit.
It just to me it just doesn't make sense, man. So she gets caught, and then she starts squealing, right?
Whistling.
Right? She starts
singing.
right. She starts whistling. But if the FBI allegedly already had her, there would have been already more stuff coming out.
Or they released her at the right moment.
Or
Waiting for the time.
Yeah,
because-
Maybe she was already arrested. I
Look
don't
at-
know.
So
no, they already had her.
it-
She just happened to go to a grocery store, and it's like, okay, we already got a lot of information. They probably already made an arrest that was never reported until she got caught.
correct.
You see what I'm
That's
saying?
what I think.
Yeah, they're already making moves. They just, they have that
Also-
little, the ace in the
Because-
Just
hole.
to say she wasn't already working with.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So think about
Which that's what I'm saying. Like this been going on for years.
So the house in New Hampshire,
They got her before.
it's too hard to like. You just have to follow her trail, follow whoever she talked. It's a way to catch her. So that's why I'm under assumption she definitely was
the political party found her.
already under FBI. Like she was
Yeah.
already, and it came time like, okay, we got your information. let's.
I remember Ant made
Throwing
it.
another. Oh, my fault.
Go ahead.
Throwing another possibility out there that we didn't talk about. What if it was the Crown Prince?
Exactly.
The Crown Prince.
That's
He was
someone
named.
outside of the states that
He
could
was
have
named.
enough power to make that happen.
My man
Prince
was
Harry
named.
moves to America, Canada. Come on, come on.
And you made a good point last time. Remember when they took a picture of her when they caught her, or they took a picture of her in Cali, and she was just sitting down on
She
a
was
table?
sitting at a she was sitting at a like coffee shop
She was reading an FBI book.
about
serious?
FBI handlers,
Yeah.
and someone took a picture of her. It was probably
So
one
you're
of the first
telling
times she
me?
was-
So that's why I think it's a setup, because you're telling me this girl who had enormous resources couldn't get away. Whitey Bulger was like gone for like what 30 40 years, like, and then he gets caught as an old man. It's already done. You know what I'm saying? And then some guy from Springfield kills him.
It's the same. It's
Right. But I think
Yeah, we didn't know that.
But I think what happens is she fled, man. Right? She
No.
fled. No, listen.
Go
I
ahead, go
believe
ahead.
they
I
got
want to
it
hear Los.
before.
Let's see
Listen.
his.
She fled. She
Yeah.
was gone.
Mhm.
Jeffrey Epstein, unfortunately, got caught. He had to get the axe.
He definitely got a warning, right?
Oh, he got a warning.
That's
He was
why.
back in
That's
Florida.
why she could flee.
Back in Florida.
I mean,
well, the whole thing she's in court for right now is regarding her testimony during his first case that he
In
got
Florida,
a
right?
sweetheart deal in
Correct.
Florida
Yeah.
Yeah.
by I believe it was
Isn't he the attorney
someone
general
on,
now?
well, he was one of Trump's staff members. He was one of the first people to
Correct.
get axed because this all came up after
Yeah.
he took the position. But he literally allowed Jeffrey to, if I'm not mistaken, work 12 hours outside.
literally
of the
just
prison.
sleep.
Oh, yeah,
Correct.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
sleep in
correct.
the
Yeah,
prison.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah.
And literally, if you look at the wording, it says that he procured minors for prostitution. I didn't realize that a minor who's not like legally able to consent to sex can consent to being a prostitute. That makes no sense. It's literally,
America,
Oh.
man.
but that's how it was written in
American,
those
man. That's how it is,
in the
man.
court cases like that. And I mean, you see it kind of in media as well too. That they
That's
the choice
because
wording.
Florida was not part of the 13 colonies.
but back to my point. I think she had already fled, man. But in my opinion, somebody had to go, right?
Yep.
They couldn't find Maxwell. In my opinion, I guess the wrong person is gone. Because she's got all the fucking files.
Allegedly.
But hence why she's still alive, because the FBI knows that she's got so much fucking dirt. Not only does she have dirt, she may have a lot of the
Well,
evidence
what's
in
gonna
the
happen to
documents.
her? She's gonna disappear. Like she's not.
But
she's not gonna.
I
be
think she would have already been.
no, no, no. I
disappeared.
meant after. They're
This-
gonna hide her.
Oh,
They're not gonna
yeah,
keep
yeah,
her.
yeah,
This is not, no, this is what I do.
She made a
She's gonna
deal.
go to jail. They're gonna try her and you're like, you're gonna serve like life 3-4 fucking times. And then she'll disappear in jail and they'll hide her somewhere else. Because at the end of the day,
You find it kind of interesting that
Yeah.
there's been no photos of her since she's been arrested.
correct. That's what I'm saying.
They even said she had COVID.
We don't even know what
She
she
had the
looks like
COVID
right
when
now.
they caught her.
Yeah.
Well, it does. She got waterboarded.
That's what happens.
We in Panama, baby.
She-
we in New York.
She was in New Hampshire when she got the COVID.
No, but I'm saying we in Panama, you know, right in those cages and
But-
shit.
Not to move on, but that wasn't the fucked up shit that Ant brought up to me, Daddy Ant, at that hotel night once upon a time ago, 3 months ago. Ant, can you talk about Wayfair and how good the fucking furniture is?
And I think this kind of ties into what Los was saying earlier that like Ghislaine, however you say it, gets arrested. And then all these weird arrests start to come out. These
floodgates
weird little
open.
conspiracy theories start to float around online. And I think the big one that was online for a while regarding Wayfair was just a lot of weirdly priced and labeled items all over their website. So they'd
Correct.
have like a throw pillow or a really cheap, like, you know, plastic cabinet or
And they
shelf.
would sell it as a like Abigail for $13,000. But
$20,000.
yeah,
And all these
but it would be
ridiculous
like
prices.
I'm selling to you for 13.
Yeah.
It's 13. You're paying 13 grand for
Abigail.
So
let's say for a 13-year-old girl. You know what I mean?
So you're telling me that the trafficking has expanded to websites? Just because you think about it, when we used to smuggle cocaine in here, we used to put them in roses because it's perishable technically,
Yep.
so that you're not allowed to open them. And that lasted ever so long because eventually they swoop up. Or they used to, what was it? Put it in water, melt it
Yep.
down, put it in your jeans or
Correct.
whatever.
Yep.
Exactly.
So this is like
It's
high level,
high-tech
fucking
shit.
Albert
It is.
Einstein.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
It's
type
kind of
shit.
it's like clever, but it's not. But let me ask, in all seriousness, would you buy a $13,000 pillow?
Yo, if it brought me, the bitches.
Would you buy it if it was an
that's
Ellen
what I'm saying.
DeGeneres pillow?
Nah, fuck that.
Right.
I don't like girls with short hair.
so
Rainbow party.
So who do you think is gonna buy a $13,000 Abigail pillow?
Me might.
You know what I mean?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Me might.
What-
Porque estúpida.
Mami, que tú quieres?
I think what was maybe the weirdest about it was just Wayfair's like reaction. I mean, people are going to say weird things on Twitter, right? We can
All the
avoid
time.
that,
All the
right,
time,
easily.
yeah.
But the fact that they responded to it within a day, literally came out and said, "There's nothing weird happening. Like, don't worry. We're not involved with trafficking." Literally, like, put out a
Oh, yeah,
statement.
sure.
And
This is all
proceeded to
jokes.
explain that these were industrial items, which is why they charged more. So apparently, these are industrial pillows.
Industrial.
I don't even know what that
believe,
means.
man.
No,
It's
there's
very-
no fucking pillow that costs $13,000.
No, there is. There
The
is.
cover of a pillow, yeah, if it's like Gucci or something.
So as an industrial pillar, if I can hold my dick and shit, you know what I'm saying? It's fucking
But it's hard to believe, man, when
won't break and
when
shit.
there's pictures of Maxwell and the CEO together online. You can freaking find it.
You know
when
what
I
sucks?
see that, I
You know what
question that.
Wayfinder's top foundation is? What
What?
they donate the most to? They're like their company
St. Jude's?
philosophy. Homeless children.
Really?
course.
Oh,
That's what I'm
of course.
saying.
Also, another interesting tidbit:
It's crazy.
who partnered with the Department of Homeland Security for these terrible cages that we hear about that our government is holding many Latin American children in. Wayfair came in and said, "Hey, we'll donate
No way.
50,000 beds to the same places that have how many children now missing that they have unaccounted for?
500.
How many was it?
500.
500,000 or 500 total?
No, 500 that don't have their parents.
But there are also, I don't know if you remember from a couple months ago, there were reports of like a number of children from these camps unaccounted for. They don't know where they
unaccounted
are.
for?
This is what the fuck I'm talking
We're talking
about.
like 50,000. I forget what the exact number
so-
was. So like there's just a lot of very weird connections.
So up here,
Wayfair.
up in the north,
The North.
we have an
north.
epidemic. Other than COVID, it was heroin, right?
Yes, sir.
Go to Cape Cod during wintertime, everybody's shooting up. My man, Daddy Ant, who kind of dabbled in the Georgia down south range. You think shootings is bad? There's a missing child every fucking 5 minutes down there.
Oh yeah.
Think about that shit.
Well, didn't they just
That's
find-
just crazy.
I
We
know.
have an Amber Alert.
in the summer they've scooped up like 53 children. I think they recently just scooped up another like
You ready for this?
40 children.
You ready for this? Tell them about that real estate shit.
Oh, Milwaukee, son.
Oh, that was an awkward one. Yeah, that was an awkward one.
Again, trafficking.
Yeah, there was just a lot of interesting stuff coming out regarding trafficking, especially after Ghislaine got arrested. But was it Minnesota?
It was Milwaukee.
It was Milwaukee. Thank you.
Milwaukee. Yeah,
But
Gematria.
there was like a small town in Milwaukee where there was like a group of girls that had went missing, and it was like 2 or 3 girls like under 16 had went missing, and the community, did kind of their own policing because there wasn't anything happening. And I mean, it's interesting because obviously it was some vigilante justice, I guess you could
Correct.
say.
That's what it was.
But they spoke amongst the community, and then now you have like these crowds of 100, 200 people surrounding certain houses, like demanding for these kids to come out. And as they call the cops, because the individuals inside of the house start shooting at the crowd, cops show up, and then rather than talk to the owners about possibly these children being in there, instead they protected the owners, and they literally like just tried to disperse the crowd, and then things got a little out of hand, and then push come to shove, this house ends up on fire. There's videos of like the police rushing children out of the house, so there was some truth to the fact that the
This
kids were in
is
the
some
house.
crazy.
this is some urban Waco
So
shit.
this
And
was
this is
like-
just stuff that's not like
So-
it's definitely that's a good point. That's an
Yeah.
urban wake up. That's what they're putting.
my man Betty walking down the street,
That's what it
fucking
was.
hears gunfire.
So it was a real estate agency, or was it like people
So-
that just like to buy houses and they
thank you.
hide
So
kids in there?
The individual who owned, this was stretched out over 2 properties in the same neighborhood, and the individual who owned it was a youth pastor,
course.
who
fucking
was
insane.
selling one of the houses. And if you
No, he was selling both of the houses.
was he selling both
He
of them?
was selling both of the houses to 2 different top realtors.
Top realtors in the area, yes, 2 rainmakers in the area.
2 rainmakers, and the rainmakers happened to be selling it for like dirt cheap, like 30 grand each.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you look
Wait,
at
wait,
what was even more
wait.
interesting, and
30 grand.
Realtor.com and Zillow pulled them. But if you actually go look on Reddit, there's a couple other sites like that that'll still have like
Shout out to Reddit.
what's the word I'm looking for when they so you can pull something offline, but if it's like marked, it's going to stay online for
Yeah.
a certain amount of time. I
Yeah,
forget
yeah.
what
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
called.
It's like cookies, cache,
Archive it?
Archive, thank you. An
Archives.
archive. Yeah, so you can actually pull up the archives.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go to archive.com. Make sure you save every of these tweets.
But what was really awkward is these ended up getting getting pulled after all this happened at the house. These pictures got pulled off of like Realtor.com and Zillow and all these places. But if you check the archives, the pictures are very awkward. And there's literally like in one photo, there's 100% a girl sitting in the background of a photo in a dark room.
Oh, no.
So she's just sitting, like it's a photo of the living room, and she's just sitting.
And it was black girls that were missing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there was another photo of
People
what
of color.
clearly is like a kid laying on a bed. But like, again, why is the realtor, like if I'm trying to sell a house, why am I taking pictures?
Listen, no
That
rainmaker,
Yeah.
no rainmaker would just do that.
So what I'm hearing is these real estate agents will bring certain clientels to these houses, try to sell these houses for 30 grand, wink, wink. But here are these.
Here's my
You know what I'm
theory
saying?
on it. Going back to kind of like a Wayfinder, one of these like major sites.
Correct, yeah.
Like, I don't think you're necessarily like putting in an order and like they're sending you a box with a kid in it.
No,
Like,
no,
that's
no.
pretty ridiculous.
They're sending
I
locations.
think that is a way for very wealthy people who have to track all of their expenses for tax purposes
Facts.
to have a legal receipt for something that they can actually write off or they can
hear
like
you.
claim, whatever the
Correct,
heck
exactly.
it is.
That's how they stay rich.
Rather than like, come on, like,
Yeah.
how do you explain the certain? I mean, I would
Right.
assume, how do you explain certain flow of cash in and out of your bank account like that? I would think that maybe a system to have like a legal receipt. Maybe
No, of
these
course.
different
Because in
things are, like,
America,
code
if you
for
got the
different things,
receipt,
what
you could
bought.
write that shit
Might not-
off.
yeah.
That's what it is.
Might not necessarily be like child trafficking, but like maybe some type of black market.
But this
Yeah.
is where it gets deeper. Hold on.
But like,
Hold on.
go ahead.
It gets deeper. These traffickers / buyers, you think they're doing it just to sleep with these kids. They're not fucking these kids. They're harvesting these kids. Yeah.
So
Tell me about that place where they just happen to have like 30 kids just chilling, like a boarding school type shit by the riches. Was it an orphanage or something?
Oh, I'm drawing a blank right now.
It was an orphanage. He was like, yeah, there's a certain orphanage in New York, not by Alexander Hamilton, it was a different one. Where these kids got bought and then brought into these orphanages. And it's a boarding school and they're learning and all that good stuff and they're trying to make better themselves. But they harvest their organs. Liver,
Yeah.
dicks, toes.
Price on a dick.
Yeah. Oh. How did
the black market
you know what I'm
price.
saying? That's what the black market. Does that really exist? All these things, but that's what I'm trying to tell you, man. Humans, we automatically think, oh, why are they fucking little kids? It's so weird.
Or
So when have you ever heard of someone famous or whatever needing a heart transplant or a transplant in general?
When they're famous.
Wait.
Go ahead.
point.
Go ahead.
let me fuck your brain a little bit.
Oh my god.
Do
he's
it.
about to fuck.
Maybe they don't need the heart transplant, but they do it, their blood, so they can look
Blood?
younger.
Yeah. What movie was
You
that?
want to go there, Ant?
Oh man.
What? Listen, what if?
Think about what
What
he's
if-
talking. It's not about organs. It's actually about
The blood.
the fucking blood.
Think about it. Listen,
Young blood.
I'm just saying.
Wait. Before you go, I have to ask a question.
Young blood.
Can I ask the question?
Yeah.
All right, Berto. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Say you need a blood transfusion.
Transfusion. Yep.
Transfusion. Transfusion. And doctor comes to you and be like, yo, listen. Unfortunately, because of your blood type, because, they have this shit. They could choose what blood you get, whatever. We have a 10-year-old blood. Kid named Steven. Matches you. But we got this 65-year-old blood that also matches you. What blood you taking?
Yeah, I'm taking the fucking 65-year-old blood, bro.
You fucking liar. He's
I
a
wanna-
liar!
I'm taking the 65-year-old blood because I want to see him die in front of my eyes.
No. They donate the fucking blood.
They donated the blood.
That's what I'm saying. I have a 65-year-old
I kind
blood.
of want to do like a thinner type thing, fucking Stephen King, where it fucking he ate so much, lost weight. I want to see that guy fucking shrivel up into a fucking bone, bro. I'm not here to fucking. I don't want to fucking talk to some 10-year-old. I want to look this
You're
guy
not
in the
talking to the 10. That's what I'm
eye. I
trying
don't
to tell
fucking care.
you.
This is how I want it. I don't want it
Dude,
any other way.
I got two bloods. 10-year-old blood and a 65-year-old blood. What blood you taking?
It's like taking an IV. Just think about it like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
don't gotta see
It's
the
a blood
kid.
transfusion,
You don't gotta see
nigga.
the kid, or you don't gotta see the old man.
You don't see any of them.
Which
I'm just
blood you
saying.
gonna take? You
Which
gonna
one you
take
gonna
the
take?
young blood, the
You know
young-
the answer. You say,
I take blood.
yeah, you know the answer.
That's
You're damn
okay.
right.
The
But
pure
why
blood.
you take the young blood?
What's up?
Why do you?
You don't
Why do
know
you?
the answer. You know, because he knows.
Why?
Less experience, bro.
No, forget it, bro. Like other than experience, what do you think of when
Well, in
you
your
take
head,
young
you're
blood?
like, oh, young blood is much better than old blood.
All right.
Except
it
for
is.
All right, Ant.
except for Snoop, baby.
99% of you will take that young blood.
Ant, what's your theory?
And do I
Yeah.
jump straight forward?
too late,
Dude,
dude.
straight up, it's conspiracy, baby.
All right.
This
so,
is all alleged. This is not
This is
like
allegedly, right?
Yeah.
Allegedly. Well, the first part of this is not alleged, right? I think the thing that conspiracy theorists like to talk about is adrenochrome, right? Which is,
There it is.
I think there's a lot of people out there that say that it's not real, but you can literally Google it. It is a real compound. It is something that does exist. The question is it actually derived?
if
right?
your mind is not fucked up right now, we've gone all over. We're
All
on
over the
blood
place.
right now. We're on blood right now. Go ahead.
Fred, you want to tell us what adrenochrome is, and I'll jump back in?
No.
No, you want me to take
No,
it?
keep going. You're so
So-
smooth when you talk.
So adrenochrome is when you essentially you take blood from a human source and it gets derived into some type of a ingestible, right? Whether it's a powder or something that you would inject. But again, if you look it up, it's a
real thing.
It's a real thing. If you look it up, you can go on the
Science,
different
bitch.
pages and
I
whatnot.
can-
They'll show you the compound.
I can go on the Google.
The question is, it's like, there are plenty of things that are theoretical, but you can't
Correct.
necessarily go to Amazon and buy it. Right. So
Not yet.
the
Not
thought is allegedly, maybe on Wayfair. But yeah, so the thought there is, the higher ups are powerful people. The reason for
That's
why
what it
there's
is.
so many trafficked children that we don't know what happens to.
A
Is
lot
that,
of
are
these
they
old
possibly
people
being
are surviving
harvested
this
for their blood?
long. Like, there's a lot of old people surviving this long, and they're not supposed
How many
to.
people in Hollywood have like that vampire effect? They haven't aged in like
what
4
I'm-
decades.
Other than Keanu
Pharrell
Reeves.
still
Other than
looks like
Keanu
20.
Reeves. and
Other than
so-
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, yeah.
Pharrell for sure. Oh my
Pharrell.
goodness.
Yeah, there's a
that.
few. There's a few that have
I gotta
like,
say, Trump still look like Trump.
Yeah.
I seen his Jeffrey Epstein video back in the 80s. He still looks the fucking. I mean,
His
he
little
gained some
cheesy
fucking
dance
weight.
move.
He's like, hey. He still looks like he got a gut, but that's when you're in the White House and you get McDonald's for free, I can't blame him.
I heard he
Well,
only
those
eats like
steaks with
fast
ketchup.
food. Like
Huh?
legit, he only eats like fast food.
yeah, a lot. Do you hear how he eats a steak?
No.
He
Our
eats a-
president of the United States eats his steak well done with ketchup.
Ooh.
That is a real thing. That is the
That's-
president of the United States eats his steak well done.
That's
with
it.
ketchup.
My
They
That's
better
what
not
he
be
like-
giving him that fucking expensive steak. They should be giving that fucking Outback
That's what I'm
steak.
Jeez.
So Outback steak.
Here's a $900 cut.
Not that Longhorn.
Burn that shit.
I like
And I want my ketchup. Heinz.
Started from the bottom, and now we're here.
That's it.
So you think that's a possibility that sex trafficking is not? I just don't see it in the logic. I can't see the logic of sex trafficking because of underage. Like, it's so even disturbing to say that, like sex and shit. You know
Just
what I
say
mean?
it,
Check
bro.
this out.
Just
So
say
there
it.
have been
So,
sickos that want.
there's
There's a market for that many kids.
Are there that many sick people in the world?
There is.
There
Look
is.
at look at Hollywood. Like Hollywood's a den of sickos or whatever. Look at how they defended that Cuties movie that came out on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Like
I didn't see
they
it.
went hard defending like these girls. Like what was it? It was like gyrating, like literally 11-year-old girls twerking, wearing like short shorts. One takes a picture of vagina to send it to someone or what? Like,
Did you-
and Hollywood defended this movie to the T. Now, if I watched like some of it and I was like, "Fuck this shit," I'm not.
Did
watching
you
this
read
shit.
the article about the director, about the casting for that movie? So
No.
a male
Yeah.
director who sat through, I think it was like something like 300 kids as young as 5.
That's
twerking for him.
That's
what
to
it is.
decide who was gonna
disturbing,
be in the
man.
movie.
Yeah, it's a French movie, but they obviously dubbed
Guys.
it in
Yeah, there's a court in
English.
Texas that has brought charges against
Charges
Netflix.
against
for the
Netflix,
movie.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This is not new. This has been going on since the beginning of time.
Oh, I believe it.
Oh yeah, you hear about
I
like,
think it's
Pharaohs, kings, Jesus.
Then
God.
which Greek philosopher wrote about it? Was it
Wasn't it Homer?
Plato?
Was it Socrates?
Socrates maybe?
Maybe. But this
Oh,
has been
by the
going
way,
on.
we don't
They-
care if you fucking fact check us. By the way,
Oh, I didn't give you guys the disclaimer.
we're just conspiracy.
We are not
enthusiasts.
conspiracy theorists professional. We are.
Conspiracy theorist enthusiasts.
That's it. That's it. We don't fact check. Sometimes we
But
do.
real quick, Ant, what does Wayfair stand for? Way?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one.
What does
right?
Way stand for?
Waith, right? Spelled Waith would
Correct.
stand for. I mean, pronounced the same way. Would be a homeless individual, right? Or homeless,
Mm-hmm.
a young homeless person, right? And then fare, Fare, would be like a toll that you pay, right? You pay fare to enter someone.
Does
So
it- does
that
it make sense
together,
to you,
Wayfair.
Does.
This
So
is
I
pretty
go back
interesting.
because this is 3 Dads in the podcast, and there are forefathers right here talking.
I'm not a pops, but I
Shut the
appreciate
fuck up, Ant, man. They don't know or they don't need. You don't even know you got one out there. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, you might have something out there. But parent advice right here is, yo, take care of your kids. Because if not,
Watch them, man. Hold their fucking hand.
love them, set that foundation. But still,
I've seen too many movies where I'm like, yeah, my son like knows to hold my, even though I'm like walking and forget, he'll like grab my hand, like he fucking knows. Like my kids know to not stray away in the store. Like
that's what I'm saying, man.
Snatching up
or
anyone.
somebody grab you and shit. Like
that was the quickest way to get slapped.
I think at Walmart around
I saw the
here,
videos. I saw the videos.
Yeah,
of the
Walmart
kidnaps.
around here, someone tried to steal a kid
because we want that fucking 5-year-old blood.
Jeez.
Yo, but isn't it crazy how back in just think about us when we were kids.
I almost got taken. I told you. You guys heard the story.
Yo, we used to hang out till like 8:30, chilling
outside too.
Outside, that couldn't happen to us
with flashlights. Sometimes.
Yeah,
we didn't have phones.
Flashlights. The corner store.
That's what I'm saying.
That's it, man.
Yo, no, they would send you to the corner store.
I remember the Tootsie Rolls one penny.
1 penny, bro.
Got 100 of those motherfuckers.
You remember how much candy used to get for $1?
Oh my! They had $1 bag. Like here, take it. It's like Costco bags and shit. Not no more. They don't do that shit.
So
no more.
yeah, what's your favorite conspiracy? Like, what's your
fuck.
like you know your shit, like
Bro,
you know, these
don't
baseball-
go there.
these
Don't go
fucking-
there with him,
these
man.
enthusiasts-
We're fucked. We're
there's
fucked
two.
now.
So
he said there's two.
There's two.
I'll let you pick. I'll let you pick, Bert. So my thought is there's one that's like I think still open a conspiracy, right? And it's still just like alleged. And then there's others that like.
How about just give me a door number 1 and a door number 2, and we'll fucking go.
Yo, there's
Like,
just too many.
hold your hand up.
How
and I'm
about
gonna
this?
point.
A conspiracy theory that's been confirmed as true.
Bro, let's go.
Shit.
Let's go.
So my favorite, hands down, would be the Paperclip Project.
Paperclip Project.
What's that about?
Go ahead. Go
No,
for it. Go
no.
for it.
Oh,
I'm
this
not
is a
there
good
yet.
one. So
Let's
this is around World War II,
Okay.
right? World War II ends. We're coming in. We're stopping all the camps. We're arresting Nazis. Right?
As we should.
Right.
As we should.
Yeah.
And I mean that's as we should. How many Nazis were like actually like put to death or sentenced in that? Do you know? Was it the Nuremberg trials? Was it? Did I get that
1
right?
1.
It was just over 10, like barely in the double digits.
Yeah.
It wasn't that much.
out of how many?
I mean, like how many Nazis do you think there were? Like how many death camps were there?
Millions.
I mean,
Close to a
million.
million.
there's probably a lot.
Close to
Right?
million.
Let's say there's
It was a
hundreds of thousands. Let's say.
It was
right?
a high 5.
The question is, how many like high-ranking ones were there?
Probably like 25%.
So one of the things that's very, or maybe discussed in like medical circles, but not maybe so common with others, is the horrible things the Nazi doctors did in the camps actually advanced our medical knowledge
Yes, it did.
decades,
Yes, it did.
right?
Yes, it
Because they did things that were literally illegal to test on,
Correct.
right? So as horrible as it was, it did advance our medical
Yeah, yeah.
technology.
That's why the United States hired them.
So the Paperclip Project is about all of the high-ranking Nazi officials that went missing during the trials and relocated to America.
Holy wait. So there's,
yeah.
there's a show called The Hunters.
This is declassified. The
Is it?
Hunters. That is true.
Yeah.
This is fucking true?
Yes, The Hunters is a great
Yes.
show. The
No,
Paperclip
wait.
Project is
There was
real.
Nazis here?
The Paperclip
Yes.
Project
So-
is real.
So
Yeah.
this is
That is
brought here.
a declassified.
Oh, we brought them here.
Right, that
Yes,
happened.
we
Yes,
brought them here.
them here.
So Ed, this is my.
They
this
worked
is
on
funny
stuff for us.
because you picked this one, and this is
That's
actually my
bullshit.
favorite of all of them,
That's
of all of
bullshit.
them or whatever. Because I don't know if you know this, the people out there, but I am a big World War II like enthusiast. Like I
dope.
fucking watch any
A
documentary.
shade of a professional.
I watch anything World War II. I don't know. It just
Love history.
It just
It's good
sucked
times.
what happened, but it's good times.
no,
And then,
absolutely. Respect to the truth. Respect to the truth.
sucked what
Thank
happened,
you.
but it was good
Appreciate you. Thank you for your service. We appreciate it.
But yeah, so that one. So obviously,
Ricans
I
were
think
there
they got
too.
someone like 4 or 5 years ago, right? Like in New York, just hanging out or whatever.
Oh, what?
A Nazi. They didn't kill him. He was old, and they wheeled him out because he called the ambulance.
He admitted on his deathbed,
Yeah, and
He admitted it
Yeah.
on his deathbed?
yep.
that I'm a secret.
I'm about to
Nazi.
leave.
But think about this. So the Nazis lose the war,
Germany.
right? Nazis, Germany. Sorry, my bad.
Flash checked. Flash
The
checked.
Germans
The Germans.
and the Nazis
The
lost the
Nazi
war.
who came from Germany.
So you have allies there, right? Obviously, it's a competition to get the smartest of the smartest.
Absolutely.
It makes sense. It fucking sucks, but it makes sense. Like the NASA program had actual Nazi scientists who worked
100%.
on the rockets.
Think of
and
who
stuff.
built the bomb for us to end the war. It was an escaped German. That was like Einstein was huge in that.
It's,
The Manhattan Project. It was filled with
Einstein was
escaped
German?
Germans. Einstein was German.
I thought he was Jewish.
Or maybe not German.
No,
had
no,
to-
he was
had to
both.
flee the area.
He was both. He was both. But,
But he
he,
had
but
to
his
flee the area.
wife was believed
Jewish.
Jewish.
Yeah.
He was half Jewish, half German. But you know, obviously, you know, the pussy.
But absolutely, like think about it, like it's the race for the next world power. So like, why are you not
What
going
were
to
we
pick the top of the
thinking,
crop? And like, so it's just like, yeah, we're going to just take you and make you American.
I mean,
Like,
diversity.
enjoy this
right?
house in Long Island.
But I bet you they did like what they did, to Leo and Leo. What was it, that Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hanks movie or whatever?
Catch Me As You Can.
Catch Me As You
yeah,
Can.
yeah, yeah.
That's
It's exactly the same way. Like
That's
you're
what
gonna
I s-
utilize it. If this guy is really this good, the top,
I mean,
Come
they're
work
gonna
for
use
us.
it. Look at they utilize
I know.
Denzel too.
they
American
did.
Gangster.
That's right.
Do you think Hitler's escape?
Oh,
I'm fucking
shit.
calling it. I'm calling it. He
Another
did not-
conspiracy
he
right
did
here.
not kill himself. Hitler did not kill himself.
That's a conspiracy.
Okay. Do you think his alleged escape, or that's the rumor, right? Which there's so many evidence that shows that he was not dead, right?
I agree.
Do you think that has to do with the paperclip?
Wow, I did
because-
not think about
Because
that.
they knew that he was alive. Listen, so Hunting Hitler, great motherfucking show on
Yes, it
history.
is.
Please watch it.
It
So
only
good.
got 3 stars on Amazon, but it's still
No,
worth
dude,
it.
it's amazing.
It's so good.
It's because people don't fucking believe in it. But anyway,
It's a
Listen.
conspiracy theory. That's why.
but it is a conspiracy theory, right? So he works his way. He goes from South America. The way I understood it, he was working his way up to fucking North America.
He was gonna get there
The guy
eventually.
literally almost had a fucking bomb that was gonna go. I think in Colombia,
People forget about the bell.
right?
This guy was working on the flying saucer.
Think about it.
Ooh.
Maybe Hitler had everything to do with it.
That's a good point. I didn't. I mean, that could definitely be the case.
This
I do
episode right
think that
here.
there could be some truth to the Hitler. Went to South
Obviously,
America.
we can't prove it, right? But I'm just saying.
I
mean,
You guys
it's a-
definitely-
seen like the
so,
colonies of like
I've-
South Americans,
Yeah,
South
dude.
American like colonies.
I'm
there?
not a big conspiracy
European.
theorist guy.
I used to
but
be.
Hit-
I used to be so
Hitler went
ballsy.
to Argentina.
Yeah, man.
Hitler-
All right.
Because think about this. Wouldn't you want to show show evidence? And I think they took the DNA of the skull that they think Hitler is,
You
but
think
it's
that's Hitler?
but
That's
no, that they
crazy.
think that because they put it in the
Yeah, I'm
museum.
literally looking at the article right now.
But they tested the DNA and it's not his.
It's a woman's
It's
skull.
a woman.
Of course it
It's
is.
a woman's skull.
There's an
But
article from the Guardian out on it.
the
from 09.
family of his girlfriend
Wait.
at the time they don't want to.
Y'all believe that Hitler's still alive in Argentina
No,
or
no,
something? like that?
No.
He
He
escaped.
fled. He
He
fled.
He
to
fled, but he
Argentina.
eventually died.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, he'd be dead
right.
right now. It's
Yeah,
impossible he'd be alive.
That's
Well,
what I'm
isn't
saying.
it when you go to Soledad?
Unless he
Like,
took the blood.
Unless he took the
Yeah.
fucking blood. That's what I'm saying.
isn't that when you go to like Soledad or whatever? It's like a little German town or whatever. Like those people.
There's
like,
a couple towns
yeah,
like that, or even
speak-
like I mean, there are some South Americans with. Like,
I mean, a lot of
German
Germans.
last names. Or
a
like
lot of
European
Germans-
last names.
So wait, he fled to fucking South America and was like, I know, like, fuck colored people, but I need to leave my babies inside you?
A lot of Germans
Right?
did do that
He
though.
did, well, the thought would be he brought like people with
Yeah,
him.
he
Yeah.
brought-
Oh, I thought Hitler was just spitting like, psst, psst, psst,
No.
psst.
No. He
So wait,
was a.
So his fake
No.
followers were
Hitler-
like, we're
Hitler-
gonna smash colored
Yo,
folks.
if I'm not mistaken,
but we believe in like the white skin
if
and the
I'm not
blue eyes.
mistaken,
That's crazy.
if I'm not mistaken, Hitler was asexual.
Was he?
Was he?
I don't see. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
if I told you Hitler
Fact
was
check
an
that
alien?
shit. Huh?
What if I told you Hitler was an alien?
I don't know.
I would say no.
Can't prove it.
You can't prove it.
So, anyways, back to the
That's,
paperclip.
there's a conspiracy
wanna
that Hitler
digress.
was a fucking alien.
There,
I don't
there is
wanna-
something I do want to talk about with Paperclip. But what were you gonna say, my bad?
No.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I didn't want to digress.
Hey, can you fix the Wi-Fi in
I
here?
want to throw this one for Burke because I know he mentioned this is one of his favorite conspiracies. So obviously the Paperclip project is real.
Yeah.
Right, it happened. One of the things that are like question marks are what did they work on? What did they do? Right? What were their purposes coming to the States? And one of the more interesting one, being from Connecticut and being a little interested in this project specifically. I don't know if you guys have heard of like Montauk Island, which is in the Sound, right in between Connecticut and New York. There's this like small little island that hosts a couple like federal facilities. It's if I'm not mistaken, they're like either like a Department of Homeland Security or something along those lines, or like a CDC type location. So this island obviously hosts a bunch of tests, right? Different type of experiments. And the theory is, you guys know about Lyme disease,
Yes.
obviously,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Now it's known all over the world, or all over the country, excuse me. Old Lyme, Connecticut, right? You guys know where that is? Right along the shore.
They don't spell it the same though.
They do.
They
They
do.
do spell it. Lyme disease is spelled the same way.
With the Y.
Y-M-E. Yeah. Learn something new every day.
You know what I'm saying?
So Old Lyme, Connecticut is directly across from this island, right? This small island in the Sound where there's like federal facilities. And one of the more interesting theories is one of the things that high-ranking Nazi doctors were working on, and there's an individual that is a specific name. There's a documentary I saw. I just can't think of the guy's name, so I'm not going to try to make it up. But there was an individual who was a high-ranking Nazi official who his job for the Nazis was to put all sorts of diseases inside of ticks and flies and mosquitoes. And what the Nazis would do is they would get all of these insects sick, and they would flood the battlefields weeks prior to them showing up. So by the time they showed up, their opponents were battling all these different diseases.
All right.
Right? So they would put like smallpox, this, that, and third, all this type of stuff.
So what you're saying is...
So this doctor, who was very likely part of the Paperclip Project...
That's just crazy.
...was responsible for putting diseases in insects as biowar. Right? And then...
The fuck?
Shortly after World War II, Lyme disease... enters.
I thought you were going to say the scientists started working for us.
Well, no, the guy that is debated was part of the Paperclip Project. He was brought to America. I don't know his name. I apologize for not, doing my research prior to it.
No, it's okay. But
the Nazi doctor that's being in question was brought to America.
This is just crazy.
So the thought is like, was that on accident? That maybe one of these like ticks that he was working on is like biowar, was it possibly
Ed, let me ask you this real question real quick. We did a time travel thing. And a lot of people will, if I ask them, hey, if you had a time machine, what you do, like 20% of Americans that are Jewish probably been like, yo, I go kill Hitler and stop that. But the way you're talking is like, without that event happening, we wouldn't have certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, rocket ships.
It's a butterfly effect with everything on the planet.
Isn't it? Oh. But you know what I'm saying? Isn't it just crazy how...
So maybe a motherboard in one of your, appliances at the time or stuff like that. Like, obviously, it's fucked up.
I
think it's always going to happen. Like, we're always going to take someone or the best of someone or from anywhere.
Of course. Yeah.
But to think that we crumbled a little bit and just let these guys go. Like, I would have, it was like, kill them all.
My thing would have, I get that part. It's like, yo, I know you like fuck shit up for humans and shit, but I need you because I'm going to go. Somebody had the foresight of knowing that after World War II, this is it. Like, there may not be another.
After that, what was the... Yeah, so...
There was not going to be a big war, so this is the time to take full power.
Yeah.
Because England was an ally. France wasn't, was it? Italy wasn't.
No, Italy was on that side.
Yep.
Right. I don't know about France. But anyways, England was an ally and China was an ally for us. No. Russia. Well, they forced themselves to be an ally. But anyways, at that time, defeating this up and coming upper, it's like, Tupac was like there and then Biggie was coming. One of them had to go. Right. But
both.
Well, now it's both. It was Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
But you got me fucked up. I love that. I love that train of thought. I love that. I told you.
So basically, with
I'm just saying without them, we wouldn't be where we're at.
Yeah.
Right now, you wouldn't have an iPhone without the Germans. Allegedly. I'm not saying that's what I'm saying. But that's your country. I was born here too, but that's still yours. It's mine too. I fuck with it. It's mine. I love America. Let's go.
Oh my!
It's the only time I can shit in some pictures.
So after the war happens, basically you're competing with the USSR.
Correct. Right. Yeah. So you want it was a race. It was
China
a race.
to take their.
We were in the race with the USSR at that time for space.
Yeah.
And that's what it was.
They faked it, right? The USSR faked all their studies and faked
because they didn't have Germans.
They didn't get the rocket launching Germans.
But that's what it was. Allegedly they faked. That's another conspiracy. We didn't even land on the moon. We kind of faked our fake. Oh, they faked, we faked back. They go high, we go lower.
I'm not 100% on that, man.
You think we got there?
Yeah, why not?
Which time? You really believe Apollo 13 got there?
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy?
Did you see the movie? Duh.
It's Apollo 11.
No.
We cool.
13 didn't.
Have you ever seen them? Have you ever seen the interview? Have you ever seen the interview with Armstrong?
Where's that guy, by the way?
He's still alive, right?
No, he's still doing shit.
Yeah. I'm the guy that made it to the. But come on.
Well, here's
another conspiracy. I'm talking. We're here all night.
It was an interesting one, but have you ever seen the interview where he walked out of the interview, but they questioned him about the radiation belt, and what he felt going through the radiation belt. You know what that is, right?
No.
No.
So
Go
there's
ahead.
a patch of extreme radiation, like just outside when you leave, like our planet. And our
Is that the
atmosphere.
ozone layer?
No,
Like,
past
little
that,
bit?
right?
Okay,
So,
cool. I've never been.
Can I get this on Airbnb? If I can-
Elon's working on it. Elon's working on it.
Shout out to Elon.
So, I mean, theoretically, the whole point of like the spaceship and the suit and all this was so that we can get a human body past the radiation belt without them, like their innards getting fried.
Oh damn!
Right? 'Cause this is the thing about it. We're not being protected anymore by
Right,
the
right.
atmosphere. We are out in the open.
You'll get the stage 8 of cancer.
Yeah.
Like that.
So, like one of the biggest things about how do we get a human to the moon and back? The two biggest things are one, how do you get past the radiation belt, and two, how the fuck do you get off the moon? We can get a rocket there.
Correct.
The
Yeah.
question is, how do you generate enough power to get back? So that's what took so long. So when they questioned Armstrong about the radiation belt, he spoke about it in the 60s or was it 60s? Whenever he came back, like when they went on their little tour, and he was speaking publicly all the time. And he was like this huge public
Really?
figure.
He actually did do the pub. I thought
This
he
was
never
years-
did.
This was a while back. He
No,
stopped.
this is
after a
like
while.
when he first like.
Yeah,
When he landed and
first
came back, he's like,
when
yeah,
he
let's
talked
talk
about the
about it.
radiation belt. He was just like, "Oh, it was nothing. We didn't even notice." I think you would like, even if you were in a
Yeah.
protective suit, you
Right.
would tell when you
Exactly.
were going through the fucking radiation belt. There's no possible way that you're not going to feel that or feel something from it. And he was like, "Oh no, it was nothing." And then so obviously, in my opinion, he was told to shut up about it and not speak or answer that question.
He can't handle it
And
no
like
more.
there was I forget which documentary it was, but he was questioned. I mean, this was maybe like 10 years ago, something like that. He's pretty old.
Mhm.
But they bring up the radiation belt and they bring up like his discrepancies and how he's kind of flip-flopped on his experience through the radiation belt. And he just walked out of the interview. So like part of it, he's just like, oh, like, I mean, I guess you kind of get where he's coming from, like show me a little more respect. I'm
Yeah,
the first
yeah, yeah.
motherfucker to walk on the moon. But then there's also the flip side of that. It's just like, all right, there is some suspicious activity there.
Correct.
But like a simple question that like you as a NASA astronaut should be able to answer.
Be like, oh, he could have said like it was
the only
it felt
human
tight.
experience.
He could have
the
been like, it
radiation
felt
belt.
tight. My heart felt tight. And that's all he had to say.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
I
So-
shit myself.
Like, I was totally cool about it.
Who was is it Stanley Kubrick, right? Wasn't he really
Yeah.
famous?
Yep.
You ever hear the
The
theory
director.
that he directed the moon landing?
He
I heard-
directed.
yeah,
Yes,
he
I did
directed-
hear
yeah,
that.
I've heard
What-
that.
there's-
That
you
was
guys ever seen-
before
what's
the whole
movie?
wave of the flag, right? He directed where the flag was waving, and we're like, wait, there's no.
There's no,
No
there would be no, it would
fucking-
be standing still.
Correct.
You know what would cause that? If you filmed in one of the underwater tanks the NASA practices in,
Oh, that's
it
true.
would cause a little bit of flow.
Daddy
That makes sense.
Ed
Yeah, yeah.
from Hartford.
You know,
He's
but you can also, like,
semi-single.
you're
Come
jumping
get
up and
this
down
kid.
in, like you're on, literally what they practice in. You get like the best Hollywood director to come by and like.
That's it at the
shoot
time.
it for
It
you?
was either him or Christopher Nolan's dad.
Well, is it
I'm not sure to say Christopher Walken.
isn't it true that, or not true? Sorry, conspiracy that Stanley Kubrick got because of Eyes Wide Shut? No, seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
Because of Eyes Wide
what's the
Shut.
conspiracy on this one? What?
That's saying that like he kind of exposed that there's a sex cult and
Yep.
there's like a underground like.
all
From
right.
Eyes Wide
So-
Shut.
So
Alright,
he
yes.
died like shortly after that. Like I forgot how he died. Can you look that up for me, Ant?
I got you right
He
now.
probably was the same way as Tom Cruise fell off the
but
bridge.
I guess there was always hidden messages in all his movies or whatever. Like, what's the Jack Nicholson movie in the snow?
The Shining.
The Shining?
Yeah, he directed The Shining.
It wasn't Stephen King.
No,
Oh no,
Stephen
he
King-
writes the shit.
Stephen King hated the movie.
Really?
Yeah, because the guy changed a bunch of stuff from his book.
What about?
He changed like the room numbers on purpose.
Oh, he did. Oh damn. I
You
didn't
want
know.
me to chime in on your conspiracy here?
Yeah, go ahead.
He died of a heart attack hours after delivering the print for the film Eyes Wide Shut. Hours after sending it in, he died of a heart attack.
So the Nazi got him too.
So they said like he's like exposing stuff. He's like messing around, and then he does Eyes Wide Shut, which obviously
telling you.
Tom and Nicole wouldn't know like anything about it because they're still like starting the game or whatever.
You guys ever watched Room 237?
Yeah, that's
Is that with
237.
John Cusack?
No, so
Or is that another movie?
No, that's the scary movie you're talking
so
about.
237 is the room number that he used in The Shining.
Yes.
Oh.
They talk a lot about how Stanley hid a lot of shit in his
Stan Lee?
movies.
The Stan Lee.
Oh.
Stanley Kubrick. So I just said his
Oh.
first name,
Stanley
Stanley.
Kubrick.
My bad. The guy we're talking about.
The first Stan Lee.
They have a very interesting part in that movie where they discuss the moon landing and the
Correct.
theories behind that.
Yeah.
And supposedly there's a
See.
scene in there where he's telling his
So,
he's telling the truth.
We landed on the moon, right? Allegedly at that time. And then Apollo 13 didn't have enough gas
Allegedly.
to get to the moon for some reason because of the radiation, right? But then we don't go to space for another like 50 years.
Think about this with our technology advances, right? think of like the early part of that century, how quick the technology advances were, right? We go from, upgrades from cars and
We had the
different
first
transportations,
car phone in 1979.
airplanes to
That's crazy. Exactly.
to spaceships.
After World War II.
Yeah, just leading up to World War II, right? The 100 years prior to that. Think of all the technology advances leading up to that point where we send a fucking rocket
And
to the
we
moon.
exploded.
And then
Yeah.
after that, where are the technology advances other than like handheld digital devices
Correct.
that distract us?
So the theory
Where are the major technology advances?
The theory-
Why do we not have like renewable energy yet?
You ready for this
Like,
theory?
what's going
You
on?
ready?
Like, where are
The aliens said, cut it out.
we hit a plateau? Something
No,
happened.
no.
We hit a plateau and they were like, stop.
No, the
Like-
aliens came down in 1965 during the Eisenhower and shit and said, yo, cut that shit. And then they leave, but obviously because of technology and our gravity pull and all that good bullshit, 2 spaceships did not get out of there and they exploded. And then we have Area 51. What's up with Area 51? I mean, it was a conspiracy theory since I was a fucking kid, right?
Obviously.
Right? And
Still
then
is.
the government during COVID was like, by the way, it's real. But nobody talks about it.
Of course not.
Or the other declassified videos, like was it like the Air Force?
The flying saucers and
Like, they caught that it was
Tic Tac.
the Tic Tac in their radar that literally was moving like nothing we've ever seen like ever. It was like, we're just gonna
Guys,
throw this out like casually
to all you humans out there, the government admitted that we've had contact with people that are not humans.
I don't know if they admitted it.
No, they did. And 51
They
is real.
admitted to that being an
Unidentified.
UFO thing.
UFO, but
They
they
admitted
didn't
to
admit
that.
that there was aliens. Because let me tell you,
That could mean it
everyone
could be
was freaking
human.
the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'd be freaking the fuck out, and I've been wanting
Really?
this to happen.
Really? You
Oh,
don't,
yeah.
I mean,
Have
it's
you
gonna
not seen-
happen.
Have you not seen Mars Attack?
Power that has
Listen,
that type
Mars
of
attacks, they
technology.
killed everyone.
I feel like movies tell kind of like the truth.
They do,
like,
man.
Like almost every joke has a truth to it.
Is it
It's
what's the
symbolic.
saying?
Symbolic.
Independence
Does
Day.
art reflect reality, or does the reality reflect art?
That's right.
well, is it
That's
ports of these?
My boy Walter.
Yeah, Frangel. What's it?
Fringe.
Fringe. Fringe.
Yeah.
That's a good show.
So I think Men in Black are like
But
people
doesn't
like,
remember the
like,
show.
They're like agents.
I said
exactly.
Francho.
French.
Listen, so aliens? Real? Fake? What are you telling your kids? Seeing is really believing? X-Files? Testimonies? Bibles, books? Like, what are you... When do you believe that they came and see the Egyptians? Do you think the pyramids were built by fucking Egyptians? You know what I'm saying? Or was it like the aliens like, you get a triangle, you get a triangle, you get a triangle. We're going to go to Mexico, we're going to go give you a square. Right?
Throw on an episode of Ancient Aliens.
That's what I'm saying. That exactly. Like, and they're all connected with a triangle and shit. But were they the ones that came and talked to the Germans?
Did you ever hear how all the pyramids fall on ley lines? Like all the different ley lines across the planet?
That's what I'm
They're
trying to
like
say.
like all of them,
That
not just the Egyptian ones.
perfectly.
They're very perfectly
on
aligned.
the
It's very-
line.
It's very interesting.
Again, are we alone? Are we not alone?
All right. The question is, why are we alone right now?
Who said we're alone? That's what
You
I
see
said.
how
No, no, no,
ratchet
no, no,
our
no.
planet is?
No.
Like if you had to make a pit stop and you were like,
That's my point.
We're the Cumberland Farms.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Just kidding. I love Cumberland
If
Farms.
there were aliens that have visited us constantly back in the Egyptian days, what the fuck happened?
The peace was.
Well, you gotta
we
think
made
about
peace, bro.
We started. They went from like making pictures to like creating their own fucking alphabet.
we probably freaked
Think
them
about
out
that.
after all the world wars and shit. Like maybe they were like,
Or they
this
stopped-
and
How?
Or
that.
If
they
they're
put-
smarter somehow, they could have stopped everything. They could have diffused everything.
Yeah, but think about it though. Like,
That's not
what
their
about
place.
like the?
You ready?
I think like how you don't help the sea turtle get to the water.
That's what I'm saying. Or the ants. You see a lot of ants doing their thing. Are you gonna
It's
be
kinda
like,
so you're
oh, let
telling
me
me
help
They
this
fear
ant?
in
they're-
the path of
So
that
they're playing
existence.
God.
Who?
But wouldn't they be playing God if they interfered?
Yeah, they
No.
don't. That's what I'm saying.
By not interfering, they're letting it play out.
They're letting nature
Listen,
take its
this is my
course.
theory on aliens. We are the aliens.
I think we're from aliens.
I'm just saying.
That's an interesting one.
I'm just saying.
Well, technically, we are aliens to the other aliens.
listen. All right.
But are we
This is my theory.
intelligent?
Listen, this is one of the theories that I've been thinking about. We have evolved over these billions and billions of years.
Fuck,
what if our brains just got bigger and we're like right now, right? We're only gonna be able, like, say right now we can use how much percentage of our brain?
Allegedly,
All
All right, so let's say
Allegedly
right
it's
now.
10.
Allegedly.
So let's say right now we use 10% of our brains.
We use
In
100%.
100 years, 1,000 years, our brains, not that our brains get bigger, but we're able to use a higher percentage of our brains, which allows us to fucking, I can grab this cup just like this, like fucking Magneto. You know what I mean? Because now I can, that's literally, I can, give me 10% more of my brain, I can fucking do fucking some.
It's like we can evolve.
This is
to
the guy
have,
that's
like,
wearing aluminum hat.
And I want to but I'm saying, but think about it. Don't you
Talking
I'm
about
just saying,
brains.
if we're going to be able to use more of our brains, maybe our heads get a little bit bigger.
Maybe the need for muscle disappears and you become smaller, more frail, like a little gray alien.
I'm just saying. It's
Good
something
point.
to think about, guys.
Remember,
Alien, I feel bad for picking
90
this terrible body.
this might
You got a
be.
fat ass.
I'm good. They told you stop eating that shit.
It's true.
But what if I think the brain can outlive the body? The problem is the body can't handle the brain because 90% of the deaths have nothing to do with the brain.
Isn't that why
It's
Walt
other
Disney
organs.
froze his head?
Ooh, I did not know he froze his head.
You didn't know?
Disney, you said?
Disney.
Yeah.
I thought he froze his
That's that
body.
Mickey
I
Mouse
thought he froze
shit.
his head.
I
Well,
think
maybe
it's his whole body.
the whole body. I knew he froze something.
But listen, we haven't even touched upon the most important conspiracy theory of them all.
What is it?
The JFK assassination.
GFK?
GFK?
I said
JFK?
JFK.
No, you said
Yeah.
JFK.
I'm 100%
JFK?
sure I said JFK. I was so excited.
Guys, go back here and listen
JFK.
closely. He said GFK.
Who killed JFK?
The mafia, baby. The mafia killed him.
No.
Mafia killed him.
The Umbrella Academy.
Have you guys heard? All right, here's the nerd in me. Have you guys ever like just sat and listened to his entire inauguration speech?
No, because I didn't vote for him.
Cliff note me, bro. I didn't
So
vote for him either.
I got you. So he gets elected and goes on. I mean, this guy's very charismatic, right? Everybody fucking love the dude, and he goes on a rant. And I mean, it's not that long. It's maybe like a 20-minute long address. But somewhere in the middle of it, he goes off on a tangent about secret societies
Oh,
and how secret societies are tearing apart our country. And if we don't do anything about them, like essentially the interest of these like small groups of people
correct.
will steer the country in a wrong direction.
Handmaid's Tale, motherfuckers,
NWO, baby.
Baby boy gets popped, like real interestingly,
in a parade.
in a parade. I mean, like,
His wife was right next
who
to him.
planned that parade? Somebody better have lost their job. Let's put him in a convertible and let's ride him
Just
through the middle of the
wave.
city.
In Texas.
Nobody wants to kill the
Yeah.
president. Who
Yeah.
kills presidents anymore? It hasn't been done
Yeah.
since Abraham Lincoln.
So part of me wonders, like, maybe the mafia was hired to do it.
Ooh,
You know, to steer.
Was it the guy that killed Lee Harvey Oswald? Was
mafia related
It was
for
mafia
sure.
related.
Yeah,
He was
that's
a
what I'm
guy
saying.
who
He
was involved in
related,
mafia
yeah.
crimes.
didn't
yeah.
it? Kennedy wanted to like change the union too. I think that was a big.
There
part
was
of
some
it.
stuff locally that, like, the reason why the mafia theory comes up is that the
'Cause the
thought is that
mafia
he
owes-
used local like mafia and gangs to gain
Jimmy Hoffa,
influence
baby.
and money to run.
Correct.
And then when he got into that position and
baby.
started talking about secret societies and essentially started being more of, you know, trying to be a president.
Yeah.
That a lot of people were like, supposedly, you know, his people who funded him were now upset that he was going to come after them. And that's what like fuels the like the mafia theory.
Well, yeah. Well, think about it now. Think about, like, obviously we form gangs, we form friendships. Why wouldn't
Gang.
why wouldn't the most powerful people want to talk with each other? You know what I'm saying? Like, why
Yes.
you're not really an enemy? You know what I'm
talking
saying?
about the Illuminati's,
Oh yeah, I'm talking about
aka
the
Freemasons.
Illuminati, Freemasons. I know a Freemason too.
I know one too, but he don't look it.
You don't look.
I sold on a house. I'm just saying.
That's it.
But yeah, so I am talking Illuminati, Freemasons. So why wouldn't the most powerful people get together and try to shift the world?
Because I think at the end of the day, it's all about control / population control.
You guys remember the text I
Facts.
sent you a couple months back? Kind of chiming into what you're saying here, right? Like, why wouldn't these powerful people try to control the world? Remember the random text I sent you guys like a couple months back when I found a random document that listed Jeffrey Epstein as a active member of what? The fucking Trilateral Commission.
Really?
I don't remember that.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't get that text, but I feel you.
My bad. I'm gonna have to add you in there.
We
Yeah.
could add you to the skeptical hippo conversation.
And
Yeah.
trilads.
So it's a little interesting. Like, it's a little interesting that it, like,
For our
man,
viewers who are not Google savvy, what does the trilads have to do What are
So,
they?
I mean, you're talking like the Bilateral Commission, or you have like, what's the other one I'm thinking of? These are essentially like, there's 3 or 4 major organizations that meet a couple times a year, and it's like a UN.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know, like you literally have to be a high level individual. Like you're talking state representatives, foreign representatives. Like these are the most powerful go. And these are meetings that set foreign policy.
This is the
And Jeffrey Epstein not only donated to the Trilateral Commission, but he was an active member. Like how? And this was after he was already convicted sex offender.
wild.
So like
they still
to
kept
say
it.
that you didn't know what this man was doing or didn't know what he was about, but you're going to invite him to the most exclusive meetings.
I just want to be where the room where it happens, in the room where it happens. I just want to be in the room where it happens.
So
Hamilton.
Oh my!
No, but that's what it is, man. There's like these meetings, these rooms, these conventions where these fuckers just happen to meet up, and they're like they own the company of fucking Earth, and they're making decisions on us and
So
shit.
do you think let's say there is a secret committee. Do you think now they're at odds with what's going on like in the political world?
No, one half is like, yeah, it's our fucking turn finally. I think even in those little group sessions, there's like little clusters of little groups.
Like
You know what I'm
Jerry
saying?
died, so we can't replace him because once you're out, you're out. And
Correct. You know what I'm
so
saying?
the vote was like 4 to 5 every time.
We're not bringing his wife in.
Yeah.
I think it's like the mafia. Remember watching The Sopranos when there was some beef within like some of the guys. So then the 2 couples would like talk it over. So, all right, you could have this and you could have that. And so
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
probably what it is.
Dave
You know what I'm
Chappelle
saying?
travels.
Like you can't
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like
you can get these little Pacific Islands.
That's what it is.
That's what I'm
parts of
saying.
the
Yeah,
Caribbean
yeah.
and
Dude, let's say this is real, right? Because again, we don't have the facts.
allegedly.
Or
Allegedly.
you know what I mean? I'm just saying
Conspiracy.
like we don't know.
Yeah.
They're just the puppet masters.
That's it.
That's
I
it.
I can
want
see
to
that.
be where the room where
They
it
own-
happens,
they all
where
own
the rules
Bilderberg Group?
where it
they
happens.
they own
Bilderberg
news
Group. You
groups,
know about
they
the
own
Bilderberg Group?
shipping.
Another
You know,
group?
they own a bunch of
What's
stuff.
that about? Is that the same birds I'm thinking?
It's no, Bilderberg Group is another one of those like trilateral type groups. They meet once a year. They have some of the most like secluded meetings ever. You know, like your big conspiracy theorists like Alex Jones, dudes like that, talk about it a lot.
Alex Jones, Keith, whatever his damn name is from the Vow.
He crashed one of the meetings, if I'm not mistaken. He was like interviewing people outside.
Oh, he was
like,
with Thomas Jefferson.
there's lots of video clips of
What I missed.
a bunch of like highly powerful people across the globe going into like these hotels. that
I
didn't
think
have
it does happen. I mean, why not?
meetings
Why not? I'm sure Cola has beautiful meetings with Pepsi and then beautiful meetings with
I don't know about
fucking
that.
other
Prices?
shit.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Set prices on the.
I'm about
on
to
the
raise
bottle.
it 10 more cents. He's like, nah, let's do 8 cents. All right, we'll meet in the middle at 9, but you can't come out with Diet Pepsi.
I think at
And you
this
can't put
point,
Mexican
I think
sugar
at this
in it.
point, Pepsi and Coca-Cola are like, we're never gonna beat each other or take each other down at this point.
Well, competition's always good.
Yeah,
Flew into the Twin Towers.
Ooh.
Oh, you talking about 9/11?
What's up with that? Do you guys believe it's a conspiracy or
You think there were
or it was
bombs
an
already?
actual
I think
terrorist
9/11
attack?
was an inside job. Is like the first like hashtag Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
I think
Correct.
for that one, I believe that we knew something was coming, but we were too cocky not to do anything about it.
It's the first conspiracy theory I was heavily involved in.
I remember
Yeah,
That's what got me into like being damn, like, oh, there's some
the
fucked up
whole
shit going
like,
on in this
the
world.
plane hit the top, but the bottom started exploding first.
No, the top started exploding.
What about
It
Building
went down.
7? You guys know about Building 7?
Yeah,
Talk about it.
was
So everybody knows about the 2 main towers that fell.
correct.
Which I mean, it's
Hey,
also
man,
before I even get into it.
my condolences to all those families and those
Yes,
victimized by
absolutely.
that traumatic experience.
In the history of the United States, there have been 2 buildings to ever like the actual written reason for why they collapsed was due to a fire. Want to take a wild guess what 2 buildings?
The Oklahoma City building.
Well, that was a little bigger than a fire.
All right,
But that's a
you're right.
solid guess. Though. I appreciate you.
Hey,
Wait,
unless
say
I
that
said
again?
something.
There are 2
Fuck
buildings.
you guys. You guys have no idea.
So think about it. Like remember, like in the history books, you read
Yeah.
about that, like Chicago,
The Chicago,
fire
the
that burned
bars
for like
for
3 days.
days,
Right,
yeah.
that building didn't collapse. Right,
The
there are
Eiffel
2
Tower?
buildings ever that are listed as reason for collapsing being technical, like fire, like technical difficulties caused by a fire.
yeah.
It's the 2 twin towers, or excuse me, it's 3.
Mhm.
It's the 2 main towers in Building 7.
Correct.
It's very easy for us to understand why the 2 main towers burnt. Right, the argument is jet fuel burned, yada yada yada. Whatever you believe that or not, whatever. But right,
the
jet
top.
fuel burned. There was
Yeah, yeah.
obviously
Yep.
huge fires going on inside. That's what they say caused the collapse of those 2. But what they also expect us to believe is that the debris from those two towers fell on Building 7, which housed the majority of their documentation. Like, we're talking...
Yes, allegedly.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Right? So all this debris falls on Building 7.
Yeah. But nowhere else.
And there's an old news clip, I believe like an old Fox clip or something like that, where reporters reporting on the two towers collapsing. And accidentally, they record Building 7 coming down at free fall speed, like a controlled demolition.
I remember this.
Wow.
I was
and
like,
they start to freak out.
I
Like,
think I
they
saw
cut
it.
the
I was
camera,
like,
and
oh my
it's
God, a
very
third
difficult scene
building.
to find now.
A third building's
But
falling.
it's like, it wasn't hit by a plane. They literally say that debris fell from the other two buildings, hit this building, caused the fire, caused it to collapse.
Ah.
So we don't want to the fact that we had three buildings there that I think we could all agree fell at free fall speed.
And what about the black box?
Oh, the planes. That's a great point. I mean, like, have you ever even heard about like the temperature in which jet fuel burns at?
I heard the
Should
argument.
not melt what
Steel.
that building was built out of.
Correct.
That building was built out of titanium steel. The melting point for that is higher than the burning point of jet fuel. How, Sway? Like there's like simple questions like that that like just don't quite make sense.
Oh, sweet.
It goes back to either there was planted bombs already in the building, either because let's say the planes like only cut half of the buildings or 3/4, but the building's still standing. You know how much that shit's gonna cost to fucking fix? You know what I'm saying?
What the insurance claim was
Insurance on it.
People hurt, the workman's comp. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Crazy.
You know who the head of security was at the time?
Don't tell me Jeffrey Epstein. Who was it?
George Bush's cousin.
Of course.
You want to guess? You want to guess who didn't show up to work that day?
George Bush?
George W. Bush's cousin.
Oh.
Wow.
Did you see the document of that day when he was supposed to be reading books to kids?
Yeah.
And he looked completely like
Lost.
lost.
Yeah. From the three dads,
Oh,
Daddy
God.
Ant, I thank you for being with us. I thank you for
thank you.
Much love.
sharing your experience.
You got me there.
And
Fucked me up on that shit.
and we out.
Adios.
Peace.
As always, thank you for listening to the Three Dads in a Podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. This is your host, BD Berto, your favorite baby daddy, signing off with my compadres, Daddy Lost and Freddie D.
Adios.